Well, this is coming from Thought Slime. Thought Slime's video? Something something eyeballs? 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 Ah, a leftist, are you? What a mess you've been caught up in. This year of all years. One misfortune after another. But worry not. Hope still lives. Dear leftist, I am a bite in this dream, here to embolden your sickly spirit, so you may go into the world and push back against the capitalist scourge of systematic oppression, with whatever skills you may have. Oh, you're wondering about the eyeballs, are ye? Fear not, the eyeballs, for the eyeballs will not harm you here. It is by their will that you were summoned here after all, and it is by their will that you will return again. Someday, perhaps. The eyeballs stir, and so do I. You will see us again, though I know not when. Until then, dear leftists, stay safe. Hi there. You can call me Punkbite. I see you've already met Whisperbite. They prefer to, stay in the shadows, so I'll be your most regular bite going forward, and will represent the system the best I can. But remember, we're all still Fluffbyte. We've been, busy remodeling. You're still gonna get that sweet intersectional leftist content, but this is a treat. We've gotten some beautiful art done by the amazing Wutu Tamaki, an amazing not safe for work furry artist, who you can find on Twitter. And this was the first video we could use it in, so we're using it. Anyhow, now the introductions are out of the way, let's get to those amazing comments. The first video's comments we're going to be covering is from our Let's Play of What's Your Name, an awesome and totally underrated visual novel about changing your name while non-cis, by an amazing non-binary artist who has a name we can't pronounce, but you can find on itch.io. The first comment: thank you for posting this video. It's a really good video, and a really good game. Thank you, Iris. We really appreciate it. This is actually one of our favorite videos. This game is legitimately nailing every experience I had trying to change my name, with the exception of openly crying at the judge as I tried to confidently tell her that I wasn't trying to change my name to avoid a crime, lol. Thank you for sharing, Adora JE. We changed our name too, and it was a very stressful process. We thought the judge was gonna laugh in our face. Turns out there was a typo and they helped us fix it. This next batch of comments is from our anti-capitalist reading of Skullgirls, which is still today our most popular video. Probably because of Thought Slime giving us the boost, which we really appreciate. Capitalism was the real villain all along. You expected the skull heart, but it was me, Dio. I mean capitalism. Thank you, folks. We feel like a real YouTuber now that we have a Dio reference in our comments. Andre Monroe and Atomic Banana Press, thanks for bringing your A-game. I really need an arcade stick so I can properly play this game. An Xbox controller just doesn't cut it for 6-button fighting games. We had to kind of disagree with you there. At least in our experience, we've always been better at regular controllers, although we prefer a PS4. We can kind of use an arcade stick, but it's basically muscle memory and only works for Marvel vs. Capcom related games. I hope you get an arcade stick soon, Andrew Sheffield. Thanks for commenting. Small correction. Living weapons, things like the umbrellas of the Raynar family, that are living and have supernatural powers, but don't bond with the host, are not actually parasites / theons, although they share an as yet unrevealed common origin that is something to do with Thomanite. Oh, thanks for correcting me. We actually don't know as much about Skullgirl lore as we could. We haven't played the mobile game that has its own story mode that's related, and apparently there's a webtoon coming out soon, so keep an eye on that. This next batch of comments is from our Other Side of Nostalgia video, where we cover Resident Evil 3 and Final Fantasy VII and try to unpack why nostalgia can be good and bad. it seems to really have resonated with folks, so we're glad we got so many comments. Kenichi Joji is probably the best Digimon character. Very much agree with you, Kalpsatama. Kenichi Joji is probably one of the better reformed villains in animated media. Really inspires us. Something that fills one with good nostalgia and bad nostalgia? Do 3 marriages count? I cram Sissy too. 3 marriages definitely count. You stay strong out there. I believe in you. Hey, just wanted to thank y'all for making me think more about, well, myself. I always knew I tied my identity with games I played. But once you said you just beat Ruby Weapon, I realized what I experienced as joy for the grind in the games I played had been cultivated for over a decade. I just want to let you know that this video truly struck a chord with quite a few people. This makes us so happy to hear. Thank you, XDD1. I guess that's why we made the video. We were really happy to read this. Thanks. I deal with depression, and nostalgia can either make it better or worse. Sometimes I can go back to the stuff I loved as a kid, and it can recenter me, remind me of what's important. Other times, I get nostalgic and feel I've lost so much to the forward march of time. Getting older really sucks. We definitely admit. But there's always going to be new stuff to look forward to, so don't let it get you too down. You always have the memories. At least that's what we tell ourselves too. And making this video was definitely therapeutic for us, and recognizing that. Just a little bit of good stuff and the bad stuff goes down easier. Cry fist. Wow, it's so cool to see ourselves quoted in the comments. We're glad it really resonated with you, as it seems to have with a lot of people. We are sorry about introducing y'all to so much sadness kind of though, and realizing it. This batch of comments is from our Resident Evil 3 anti-capitalist video. Gosh, we love anti-capitalism, huh? It's interesting how the games, maybe unintentionally, critique capitalism, but at the same time all the protagonists are cops. At the same time, I don't think the game's story would really have been as not realistic, necessarily, but as believable if it hadn't been set in America. That is a really interesting interjection we never thought of how the games would play if all the characters were American. And no matter where you go on the map in a Resident Evil game, all the playable characters are always American. Huh, made me think of colonialism. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't get a video idea right now. Thank you for your very good input, Rory Walker. This was such a nice analysis. As a fellow lefty trash and Resident Evil enthusiast, it would have never occurred to me to view the first games through this lens until I saw the intro to the Resident Evil 3 remake, so I'm glad someone took the time to give it an in-depth look. If I could point something out, the audio was low, but it was enjoyable either way. Cries Or, thank you so much for watching despite are still learning how to do good audio. We're also glad that it resonated with you too, because when we saw that RE3 intro, all we could think was abuse of capitalism. This last batch of comments is from our most recent video, Heaven Will Be Mine and the White Void of Fascism. We really loved the reception this video got, and it was the first one that we posted since Thought Slime's recommendation. So we were kinda tense before posting it, but we're glad that it resonated with y'all. Excellent video. I loved Heaven Will Be Mine, and usually visual novels are not my thing, smiley face. They've been warming up to us for a while, Fluffy Tail. Cute name, by the way. We're glad you enjoyed it too. We think as many people as possible should play this game. I'll admit, I spaced out a bit during this video, but I heard the bit about not spoiling yourself on visual novels if you wouldn't for AAA titles, so I guess it's actually a good thing, lol. Jay Walker? You're pretty right. We did try our best to avoid spoilers, but we hope you'll try out the game for yourself. The White Void definitely parallels fascism, but it also seems to have ties to capitalism, especially with the recuperation aspect. Oh, hi again, Kalspatama. Well, we definitely agree, and we were kinda having tunnel vision while writing it, so it didn't even occur to us to include capitalism in our critique. But you're totally right. It's very similar. It's almost like fascism and capitalism work really well together or something. If you here watching are reluctant to try visual novels, some of those with other gameplay elements could help ease you into it. Nazumi, I don't think I can read all this. Wow, you really know your stuff. We actually got Death End's request for our birthday last year. We've never streamed it, but maybe? Empire sounds really cool. We've heard of it before. Didn't even know it had elements of visual novels. Oh, and you mentioned Phoenix Wright too. Huh, we never really thought of it as a visual novel, but you're completely right. Guess it kind of slipped under our radar. I don't think visual novels are a girl genre, mostly because they all come from Japanese visual novels, which actually pander more to gamer boys than gamer girls, even though the Fujos are an important market too. While I agree with the argument that they can be regarded as girly from the perspective of dude bros because of the lack of skill, I think that the argument of girl genre ignores its history that points to the contrary. The visual novels were then what the mobile games are now, cute girls marketing, with a lot of canonic porn and some actual artist writing stories. So yeah, I just think that the one part didn't make that much sense when you guys know the history of once you know the history of the genre. The rest of the video was really good and put me towards some good games. Keep those up, guys. Wow, thanks for the insightful comment, Not in Love. We'll definitely have to look at the history of visual novels. We were a little bit aware of the eroticism part of it, but we didn't have that much experience on it, so we didn't want to talk about it other than just the embarrassment of owning Hyperdimension Neptunia games. But we also know that those aren't even half as bad as some of the games that you're referring to, which we have seen. We have many interesting friends and inmates. I will note that I don't think starting a Let's Play with a visual novel is bad. Often, if the game hasn't drawn me in completely, I'll watch a Let's Play first, and I usually get the game afterwards. I do this with more typical games as well. I like to know if I'll be comfy ahead of time. Thank you, Twisty Sunshine. We really appreciate you calling us out like this because we didn't mean to insinuate that watching Let's Plays was bad. Coming from someone who does Let's Plays, that would be pretty heinous. But in the same way that we used to think that visual novels were less gamer-like, I guess, we thought that Let's Plays were also less gamer-like. And we're getting over that preconceived notion. And the whole thing with you making sure the game is something you'll like is something I think a lot of people should do so they don't buy games that they won't like, because a lot of reviewers have a bias towards those who would pay them. This video has so much like polish. I don't know how long you scripted or what all you did, but it was a lot of good points and I'm super glad I watched. Already subbed. Wow, thanks a lot, Double Barrel. Great alliteration with your name, by the way. We did not count how long we scripted the video, or our videos in general. It definitely takes us more than like a day because we have to divide it up because of spoons. But thanks, we're doing what we've wanted to do for a while now, and we're gonna keep making content. I hope you return. White Void makes me think of Kirby's anti-life equation. Oh, when we first saw this comment, we legit thought you meant like when Kirby swallows folks. Turns out it has to do with like Jack Kirby in comic books, like the DC universe. We need to do some more research, but very interesting point. So thank you, Grim Goblin, for giving us some more nerdy stuff to research, and for having such a cool name. Well, I think that's it for comments. Sorry if one of your comments didn't make it in. We did get a whole bunch, and we tried to respond to maybe not as many as humanly possible, but as many as fluffbitely possible. So comment more, and we'll have to make one of these again sooner. This is a Whisperbite. Hello, fellow leftists. Thanks for getting to the end of the video. This was a labor of love. We really appreciated all of your comments and can't wait to see what you think of our newest video tomorrow, or rather today, for we spent so much time editing this video, it became Sunday. So we suppose you'll just get 2 videos for Sunday, which should be posted around 8 p.m. Central Time. If this content sparked your interest, or you like this video, why not subscribe, or leave a comment? You never know. Maybe even I might read it. Hey, Punkbite, are they gone? Yeah, I think mostly everyone's gone now. Except for probably the most loyal viewers. No one watches till the end of videos, right? There are just a couple of comments that we didn't get around to that we wanted to fit in. I didn't read them because they were self-indulgent and embarrassing. So this is from our Mother's Day Sucks for Sherry video, which was our first technical video essay, in a way. Weird thing is that in the original concept for what became Resident Evil 2, Biohazard 1.5, Annette was a doomed but heroic NPC who had abandoned Umbrella in her research to try to rescue her daughter from a monstrous husband. Rather than a neglectful at best, G-Virus obsessed mother figure she was in both versions of RE2, being downright abusive in the remake, as you pointed out. Also, yikes, some of these aspects of Sherry hit home. I did have a lot of support from my mom, but it was odd. She was emotionally abusive at times, especially once I came out as trans. But Dad gets pissed off if I point that out because he's a transphobe with unexamined gender essentialism, who idolizes the memory of her. Wow, Nezumi, it must have been hard to be vulnerable out there in the comments. Thanks for sharing. It's interesting about Annette in 1.5, we never knew that. And it's kind of weird that they made her a worse mom to make her a better character, I guess? It does suck about your parents, and we're sorry to hear that. And we also know that it's hard to pin down emotional abuse because you keep doubting yourself about it, which is part of the reason we made the video. We were going through a hard time. Well, this one's from our Baby Fur Made a YouTube channel, yikes, video, which was our very first video and we don't recommend you watch. It's about why we decided to be openly a baby fur, but also make leftist content. Also, I think it was Spelunker themed, not Spelunky, from what I saw. Anyway, sorry, silly randomness. Oh, it actually was Spelunker. We just get confused. Hey, Pant for Brains, you're supposed to read the top one first. I knew that. It was just that I was working up to it, you know, reading the small one first before the big one. The littles always go first. Little, but not baby fur. For lack of baby, not fur. Mouse fur and mouse girl kin. But little age is closer to 10 or so, usually. Plural, though not formally DID diagnosed. And trans girl. Also, just realized we're mutuals on Twitter, because I have a bad memory for people-related stuff. We were really excited about this comment because you're the only fur or the only H player that's made any comments on our videos, and it was really cool. And we didn't even realize it was the same person when you first showed it to us on Twitter. Like, this was your first comment, and we were like, oh snap. Well, our little age ranges from like 2 to like adult, I guess, but mine specifically is like 2 to 5. I'm playing around with a persona right now, actually thinking about a mouse. It's actually a coincidence, but in our system right now we have a hyena, a dragon, and it's a deer, you asshole. No, it's a deer cow. Anyway, Anyway, that's all the comments. If you made it this far, thank you. Also, I'm in Fantabyte, and I use she and her pronouns. See you in the next one.